2013, North Zealand heritage trains resumed an old tradition amongst heritage trains in the Danish capital. Namely the rail tour known as the Around the Houses tour, which started out at Copenhagen Central and went around in a circle line before returning to the central. In 2017, however, this rail tour was put on a halt as construction began on the new metro line to Nordhavn, and the track used by the rail tour was removed. The rail tour had been a common sight during the 90s and had been run by operators like the State Railways Museums Trains, the D-Class Group and the East Zealand Railway Club, amongst others. In this video we'll be taking a closer look at the tours run by North Zealand Heritage Train and the D-Class Group, which nowadays is called West Zealand Heritage Trains. The rail tours were, when the weather permitted it, hauled by K-Class 582 from 1900 and K-Class 564 from 1899. During this video, we'll be taking a closer look into the history of the places that the rail tour passed on its way around the capital. The starting point was, as previously mentioned, the Copenhagen Central Station, which opened in December 1911 and was the third of its kind. The building was designed by Heinrich Wenck and was constructed with 6 high platforms for passengers and 5 lower ones for luggage. In Copenhagen, the tour went via the Boulevard line, which opened in 1917 and connected Copenhagen Central Station with Østerport Station, and thus connections further north. Several places along the line still shows traces from the steam era. For example, this open spot at Vesterport, where the track continues through a tunnel towards Nørreport. This is also where you find the Palace Theatre. Originally, this cinema was located in Copenhagen's second central station, which had been removed in 1916 to make way for the Boulevard line, and a new cinema was built at Axeltorv. The rail tour continued onwards from Vesterport past Nørreport, which was previously a more open station, and on to Østerport Station. From there, the journey went along sidings to the former Danling connection, in which large ferries between Sweden and Denmark, as well as Denmark and Germany, transported goods in a direct line through the country from Frihavnen to Rødby. At Aarhusgade, water was filled in the tender before the journey continued under Nordhavn Station and past Svanemøllen and the depot at Helgoland. From Svanemøllen, the journey went by a curve to Røhaparken Station. This part of the rail tour was passed by law in 1903 as a freight-only line from Vigerslev via Nørrebro to Hellerup. In 1919 it was then decided that there would be stations at Lyngbyvej, Nørrebrogade and Godthåbsvej. The traffic, however, became somewhat burdensome for the city's inhabitants, who often had to wait behind crossings where gates went down several times an hour. Therefore it was decided to raise the line above street level. The new line opened in 1930 and was already prepared for S-train operation at that point. The freight trains went via Lersøen station, and when the Øresund Bridge opened in 2000, all goods were sent that way instead. In 1998, it was decided that the rest of the freight line would be converted to an S-line, and in 2006 the project was completed and is today served by the line F. On the journey over the Circle Line, the rail tour first stop was at Nørrebro, which was mentioned in last year's calendar. This station opened in 1930 and was inspired by Friedrichstraße in Berlin and was designed by architect Seest. In 1934 the station became an S-train station, and in 2019 the station got connected to the City Ring Metro when it opened in September. The next stop on the line was Flintholm Station, which opened in 2004. The original Flintholm Station was a freight and branch station on the Circle Line, with connection to Frederiksberg Gasworks. The station was connected to Vanløse station at the opening of the S-line, and the connection closed again in 2001 when the work began on the new station. Today, metro lines and S-trains run over the Circle Line under a 5,000 square meter large glass roof that hangs at a height of 22 meters. From Flintholm station, the journey continued to Vigerslev, where there was a connection to the Copenhagen-Ringsted line at Njølbjerg. This station opened in November 2006 and today has connection with the Circle Line, the Køge Bay line and the high-speed railway line to Ringsted. After an hour, the tour was back at Copenhagen Central, and the station could be seen in the distance. On the rail tour, 4 rounds were operated around the capital, and when the last one had returned to the central, the train continued back home. Thank you for watching this last episode of the Danish radio series Adventcalendar, and I hope to see you again next year. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.